All right, guys. So after that, let's move into our second topic of the conversation, and that is the possibility of Dan Hardy versus Nick Diaz. Well, okay. Um, how do you guys feel about that? I mean, me personally, yes, I would like to see it, and this is the reason why. It's just the fact that you guys, I have been watching mixed martial art for a very long time, and for me, this is just bring back the old guard. It's nostalgia, and I like both these fighters. Both of them are. You know what? I just like me personally. I like the striking. I like people that strike. I tend to sway towards that instead of, let's say, Jinjutsu player. And these two guys, they throw hands. Essentially, they throw hands. But let's have a quick look at their record. I'm gonna start off with Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy has a record of 25, 10, and 1 no contests. That is his overall record. And he last compete was on UFC on Full TV on September 29th, 2012. And that was the win. And 2012, almost 10 years ago. And Dan Hardy, before he chose to step away, he was on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Amir Sadollah on September 29th, 2012. And also in 2012, he beat Dwayne Ludwig on May 26th, 2021. And on the flip side, we got Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz, he hasn't competed since January 31st, 2015, which he headlined opposite of Anderson Silva. And as you guys know, Anderson Silva, he is also no longer within the UFC. But the difference between the two is that, when I said the two, I mean the difference between Nick Diaz and Anderson Silva is that, believe it or not, Nick Diaz, he is still under contract with the UFC. And the reason behind that is that Nick, he chose to retire, essentially a self-retire. He was not forced, he was not released from his contract. He just essentially saying that he doesn't want to fight anymore, he doesn't like to hurt people, and he chose to step away from the sport just for a bit. And like I said, the last time he fought was in January 21st, 2015, January 31st, I apologize, January 31st, 2015. And you guys, he did lose to Anderson Silva in that competition. But however, Anderson got popped with a banned substance, and that was overturned to a no contest. And on the flip side, I mean, Dan Hardy, this is 2015. Dan Hardy hasn't competed until 2012, since 2012. And I'm looking at Nick Diaz's record right now. He is on a 3-fight losing streak. But the people that he lost to is nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, well, the last one was a no contest, so I'm not going to call that as a loss. And that was a no contest versus Anderson Silva. He lost to George St. Pierre in 2013. And then he lost to Carlos Condit in 2012. And before that, he was on an 11-fight win streak from 2008 2011. Wow, that's a very active schedule. 3 years, he fought 11 times in 3 years. Let me double check here. Yeah, 11 times in 3 years. And since then till now is March 5th, 2021. Okay, he hasn't competed since 2015, like I just mentioned, and his last win before that was on 2021 of October. Holy smokes. I realized that Dan Hardy, he's been out of the game just a bit longer, because Dan Hardy hasn't competed since 2012, and he was on a 2-fight winning streak before he chose to step away from the sport. While Nate Diaz, I realized that he has competed recently, as in 2015, but that's 6 years ago, and he was on a 3-fight win. He was on 3-fight losing streak. Like I said, you guys, these guys, they are well known to the general public, especially Nick Diaz. He's got a very strong lore base. He's got a very strong follower. So him and his brother Nate, these guys, they literally have a cult-like follower. Like, people will follow him, like, essentially where him and his brother will go. They will always tune in to watch them fight because of their personality, the way that they present themselves, of who they are as a person. Okay, so Nick Diaz, he's got that fan base. They will, like I said, they will always follow him, and regardless if he or if they, when I say they, at the UFC, if the UFC put him in a pay-per-view card or on a ESPN Fight Night card, I can see this being as in ESPN Fight Night card. It's just the fact that I don't think the pay-per-view is gonna sell that well. I can see them as being a co-main event, but not as a main event. As a main event, I think that is a bit of a stretch. But however, if they put this on the ESPN Fight Night card, I can see this. I can see the rating would go to the roof. It's just the fact that it is a free fight, so the people, they don't have to pay for it. But however, when it comes to Nick, when it comes to Nick, he does demand quite a bit of financial incentive. I mean, he wants money. He wants money to fight, and you know what? I can't blame the guy. If this is what I do for a living, if I am getting my face punched in for a living, and I know that I have a strong follower that I will put ass in seat, I will ask as much as I can. I don't know how much that's gonna be, but like I said, I'm gonna ask for how much as I could get. And I realized that his last fight, which was against Anderson Silva, he asked and received, according to release, is that he asked and received $500,000, $500,000 to main event versus Anderson Silva, and he believed that he won that fight as well. Which, you know what? I don't think you should ever go into a fight thinking that you're gonna lose, because if you do, then you have already lost. And in that fight, I thought it was very competitive. I could see going either way, but once again, it did not go to next way, which gave him a 3-fight losing streak. But like I just mentioned previously, that got turned into no decision because Anderson Silva got popped for a banned substance, and that was in 2015. And on the other side, from Nick Diaz, we have Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy has mentioned for a while through multiple sources when it comes to his UFC inside the cage, his broadcasting that he does for UFC when it comes to the European side, and also through social media, through his Instagram and Twitter. He's been saying for a while that he would like to come back and compete because he's got that itch. He once got that itch to compete, and he wants to get back into the cage. And I also believe that when it comes to, let's say, like, when it comes to money, Dan Hardy, he's always been a company man. I don't think he has ever said no. It seems like, this is just me from the outside looking in, it seems like he's very easy to get along, and if the UFC asks him to do something, he will do it. And money, I'm not 100%, but I could honestly say, like I said, from outside looking in, I could honestly say if Dan Hardy does choose to step back into the ring, the UFC will compensate him very well, very well. And if this is a one-off fight, you know what? These two guys, they are a very good fighter. I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna put them in the top 10. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because it's just the fact that they have been out of the game for so long. I mean, but they are still a draw. They still have that name recognition, especially when it comes to Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz, he it's Nick. He's gonna say, well, I'm still top 5, top 2, top 3. I can still be the champ. And I believe that is the right mentality. If you are a fighter, that's how you should think, and that's how you should perceive yourself versus the rest of the division into UFC, or if not in the UFC, but in the fighting game as a whole. And that's Nick. Nick believed that he is the uncrowned champ. He believed that he beat Carlos Condit. He believed that he beat George St. Pierre. And he also believed that he beat Anderson Silva before that decision was overturned to a no contest. And if that's been the case, then he beat George, the champ, Carlos Condit at that time for the interim title. He's the champ. Nick Diaz, the champ. So with that logic, I'm not even gonna argue with them, because why would I? But as a fight fan, yeah, sure, come on in, Nick, come on in, step back in. I would really like to see how he would do versus the current fighters that's within the top 10 or within I say top 5 to 10. I want to see how. I just want to see how much the game has catch up to him, because at that time when he was competing in 2015, 6 years ago, he was, in my opinion, he was top 5. But top 5 in 2015 and top 5 right now, there has been a lot of catch up with the current trends of style, of evolution of the fight game. And the other thing is that age is a factor. Nick is not getting any younger, and these guys are getting a lot. Well, these guys are younger, and you guys, the reality of the situation is that Fighter Tom catch up to all of us, and he is getting older. When it comes to his muscle mass, his bone density, when it comes to age, it will always deteriorate in time. I don't know how much of a shot he can take anymore, because I don't think Nick Diaz has ever been knocked out. And Dan Hardy, he's a striker. He would like to go in there and trade hands for hands. And I think that this would be a good style matchup for both these fights, because essentially that is what Nick wants. He wants to go in there and throw hands, and Dan Hardy, he will agree. He will, yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's throw hands. And these guys, they are exciting fighters. They're not gonna go in there and take you down just trying to grind. They are not gonna wrestle you. I mean, you know what? I am not a fan of wrestlers. It's just the fact that of what I just said, that they will take you down, they will lay on you, and that's it. They will win in a decision. I am a fan of strikers. It goes strikers, jiu-jitsu player, and then the very, very bottom are wrestlers. I'm just not a fan of lay and pray. Take him down, hold him down, pray for the best, and once in a while, if it's a championship fight, I hate that. If it's a championship fight, come on, man. Okay, so that's my quick thought on the possible matchup of Dan Hardy taking on Nick Diaz. I would like to see this happen. Hopefully it will happen this year, which is 2021. Maybe later on in the year, let's say October or November. So yeah, that's my quick thought on that.